Hey guys, I just wanted to drop in and actually just ask a few thought-provoking questions. When it comes down to the idea or the concept of vision improvement, there's a lot of stuff going on out there and there's some big question marks about it. Does this really work or does it not work? We've heard about people getting sued for promoting this too aggressively. So what's going on here? Is it really possible to improve your vision? And that's a really good question that I think we should explore. Our first question that we want to ask is, who was Dr. Bates? And Dr. Bates was a gentleman. He was actually an ophthalmologist, an eye doctor, who practiced in the early 1900s. I think he was born in the late 1800s. And Dr. Bates raised the question, believe it or not, this is a time when they did have glasses. Glasses existed back then, and typically ophthalmologists would write prescriptions for you to get glasses. But Dr. Bates kind of went against the tide a little bit, and he said, look, I don't think people need glasses. I think there's something else going on here. And he developed a number of relaxation techniques. He didn't really believe in eye exercises. He believed that the problem that caused people to need glasses or to have visual distortions, most of the time, there's always the eyes that are physically damaged or have a physical defect, but his theory was that most of the time people should be able to improve their vision instead of relying on glasses, which tend to possibly, in his opinion, make things worse. So Dr. Bates did a lot of experimentations. He went into the laboratory and he actually experimented with a fish, and he would anesthetize the fish and cut the one of the lateral muscles of the eye. And they had a device back then that they could tell whether an eye was actually focusing or not. And he noticed that when he cut the extrinsic muscle of the eye, that the fish could not accommodate, which means it could not focus. When he sewed it back, the fish could focus again. In his mind, this proved something. It proved that vision accommodation, or the ability to focus, was due to the extrinsic muscles of the eyes, not the intrinsic or internal muscles of the eyes. And if you talk to ophthalmologists today, they are going to tell you that it is primarily the intrinsic muscles. So Dr. Bates, a trained and licensed ophthalmologist, that's a medical doctor who specializes in eyes. He practiced in the early 1900s. Why was he ostracized from his profession? Well, what happened is these questions that Dr. Bates was raising got to be problematic. And he actually worked at a pretty prestigious hospital. And he was actually kicked out at one point. I guess they couldn't scientifically refute what he was saying, but they didn't want to hear about it either. And you can draw your own conclusions about why that is. I have my own ideas. Anyway, they ostracized Dr. Bates. But according to his book and other books written about him, he went on to help many people improve their vision. Is this true? Is it not true? It's really hard to tell from the year 2009. But what if it is? It could possibly be true. So who do you believe? Because today, if you go and talk to eye doctors, they're pretty much going to tell you, look, this vision improvement stuff, it's all nice to talk about, but it's not really real. You do need glasses. And this is the battle cry that my doctor carried on, even as he wrote me lower prescriptions as time went by. His idea was that, look, you're 40 now, you just turned 40, your eyes do change at that point, and you become more near presbyotic, which kind of counterbalances your nearsightedness. That was his theory about why my eyes were getting better. But the reality is, and he doesn't know this because he wasn't my eye doctor 20 years ago, my prescription actually used to be much higher before I even came and saw him. So who do you believe? Does it work? Does it not work? I'm not here to say vision improvement works. I am raising the question of whether it does work or not. Is it possible for vision improvement to work? Could it actually work? And what if it did work? What would that mean for us? Can you picture yourself with a life free from contacts or glasses? Can you imagine waking up in the morning and being able to see clearly without reaching for your glasses? Is it possible? Again, that's a question that needs to be explored further. I don't believe the research has currently been done. It seems like the professions that revolve around eye care are stuck within a certain theory, a certain pattern, or a certain idea, and they seem unwilling to go outside those boundaries to actually do some experimentation and explore this concept. But yet, it seems like there's a whole lot of people out there that say their vision is improved. Has it? Has it not? Where's the proof? We don't have any proof. We only have speculation. And on the other side, how do you say that something's not true if you have not scientifically disproven it? So that's the catch-22 there. You can be on one side of the fence and say, hey, it doesn't work, but have you actually proven that it doesn't work? Have you actually definitively done experiments to show that it's all bunk and it doesn't work? And guess what? The answer is going to be no. Just like it's no on the other side, because nobody really has the research dollars to put this to the test. Nobody that doesn't have a vested interest. And that's as much as I'm going to say about that. I'll let you draw your own conclusions. And I just thought I'd show you this interesting picture, this giant eye out in space. What if there were really giant eyes watching us? Ooh, that's a little bit scary, isn't it?